Hey, this is Tim Ripper Owens.
This is Zoe from Insatia.
I'm Greg Browning from Crimson Shadows.
This is Vicky Sarakis from The Agonist.
Hey guys, this is Thomas from Kamelot, and you're listening to the Great Metal Debate Podcast. Crank it up.
Hey, Great Metal Debate listeners, we're back with another live artist interview. I'm joined today by Marc Hudson from the legendary power metal band Dragonforce. Marc, thanks so much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Cool, you're welcome. How's it going?
Going great, man. Well, we're at Expo 5 in Louisville, Kentucky on, I think it's the third night of your month-long tour throughout North America supporting Kamelot. How have the first few nights been?
They've been great, actually. Yeah, we've obviously done 2 shows so far, so it's early days. But yeah, the fans' reception has been amazing, as always in America. And this is actually the second leg of the US tour because we've done it a previous run with Kamelot, and we had such a blast that we had to come back and do all the cities we've missed. And I think everyone's appreciating that whole thing right now. So yeah.
Speaks well for your relationship that they asked you to come back on that second leg. That must have a good rapport with the folks in Kamelot.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we get on with them personally, and I think musically, they're kind of like, they're different from us, but there's some kind of crossover in there as well, so it's a good thing for the fans to see. Like, they have this whole package of their kind of stuff and ours, and they kind of complement each other, I think, so, yeah.
I totally agree, and especially given that both your recent albums, Kamelot's Haven and your release, Maximum Overload, in my mind both have similar themes as far as kind of a look at a dystopic nature of modern society. Lyrically, both of them touch on those themes. Is that anything that you all have talked about those similar themes in your music?
Actually, not between the bands we haven't, no. I'm aware that that's what their album is about, and but we haven't actually spoken about it, which is kind of odd. But yeah, I guess they, yeah, that's just the case, but we, yeah.
Well, it's been over a year, I think, since Maximum Overload was released. Looking with a little time now, looking back, are you pleased with the response, both from fans and critics?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Maximum Overload has been like a kind of evolution from the previous album before that, The Power Within. And I think The Power Within was kind of my chance to show people what the new singer can do, and then Maximum Overload just allowed me to build on top of that. So I think this album is way more kind of impressive than the first one, in a different way. I think Power Within is kind of like really well written songs, lots of headspace in the songs and stuff, and this one's just kind of a more extreme version of that, and I think the fans have definitely grasped that and enjoy it for that.
Well, I want to ask about the North American fans in particular coming back to North America. I mean, do you feel like you're getting a strong response, despite the fact that, well, both you and Kamelot, your style isn't what typically people think about as U.S. or American metal?
Yeah, I mean, I think considering that, yeah, the reception seems to be amazing here, and I think maybe they find us unusual to be from England and playing such extreme music and stuff, but the fans are honestly great every time we come back here. It's always the same, always an amazing reception, yeah.
Now, Dragonforce, as a band, you all have kind of an international flavor with members from different nationalities and backgrounds. Mm-hmm. To your mind, does that play a part in the creative chemistry of the band?
I'm not too sure that the origins of each member is really what plays a part in the kind of creativity side. It's more the influence of each person, because for example, in our band we've got Fred, the bass player, who's kind of more into the kind of black death metal stuff. There's Sam, who's really into his kind of catchier, more melodic things, and I think that's really what actually makes the sound what it is. It's not really so much where we're from, I don't think.
So unique blend, but not necessarily just based on origins.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I think, yeah.
Now, a few months ago, we spoke with Toronto-based band Crimson Shadows. They cited you all as a huge influence, indeed saying they wouldn't have begun playing metal if it weren't for you. What does it mean to you when younger musicians cite the band as an influence?
Well, that's really cool, and actually I do know Crimson Shadows because we played with them, I think, on my first tour of America. Okay. So yeah, I think we played in New York. I can't remember the name of the place now. I want to say it, but I can't think of it. But yeah, that's really cool. And the funny thing is, I'm actually younger than them, so for me, it's kind of like that's awesome. But they've obviously been inspired by the back catalogue of Dragonforce stuff. But either way, I'm so happy that someone can appreciate our music so much that they want to do it themselves. That's such a cool thing.
Now, your latest album, Maximum Overload, was released last year. We talked about that. Since then, you've also released a live DVD, In the Line of Fire. What made the band decide to produce a live DVD?
I think it's basically because we've been playing shows for so long and we haven't actually released anything that people can watch that's, nicely produced or anything like that. And the fans have been asking for it. They've been asking for it for years. So basically we took the opportunity at Loud Park Festival 2014, where it's Saitama Super Arena in Tokyo, which is a massive, massive place. Well, actually, is it Tokyo? No, Saitama is another place. But yeah, it's like 20,000 people, and we thought this place is good. The Japanese fans are amazing. We need to capture this, and that's what we want to put on our DVD. And I think the show we did actually was really good, so we had to do it, pretty much.
And are you a fan of live albums? Is that something that you listen to?
Honestly, no, not really. I don't know why. I prefer to hear the polished, the thing that the artists are wanting you to hear. I like to see bands live, but I would always choose to listen to, if they come to my town, I'll definitely go see them. But I prefer to listen to studio albums than live, just because I think that's more of an accurate representation of what they were trying to do. You know what I mean? Because live, some things can go wrong and blah blah blah. And I like to hear what they're actually aiming for, kind of thing.
That's interesting. That's one of the biggest debates in the great metal debate we have is between folks who have different ideas about that. So I'm curious, interesting from an artist's point of view, what your take was on that.
I mean, it's still interesting to see the live performance because I know that people, improvisation happens on stage quite a lot. People choose to do different vocal lines or guitar solos and things. That's always interesting to see, and it's always good to see if they can do what they're doing on the album properly. So that's cool. But as far as for just pure listening enjoyment, I prefer to go for the studio stuff. Just personal preference.
Okay. Mark, getting serious with you for a moment, the tragedies in Paris coincided with the beginning of this tour. Beyond, obviously, sympathy for the victims and their families, does an event like that make you all think more about security at concerts?
Yeah, I mean, actually, the night that it happened was the night that we started in Fort Lauderdale. So that was the first show we did. And we know the venue that the tragedy occurred in.
Wow.
Because we played there in 2012 already, and it's a huge concern about security. But again, there's not really much you can do about that, I don't think, because I guess if people want to do that kind of thing, we're not really equipped for that situation. But yeah, the whole thing was absolutely awful. And Fred, our bass player, is actually from France, and he had a friend who was there who didn't make it. So it was horrible. And last night we were on stage and we were talking about it, and it was really emotional and stuff. But one thing that we're going to do, just as a kind of mark of respect for everyone that was kind of involved in it, is every night we're doing this thing where everyone holds their lights up and stuff, and we take pictures of it and stuff. So that's our little thing that Dragonforce are doing, posting every single day for the tour, just because it's horrible. And there's Herman walking in. Just because it's an awful thing, and obviously but as far as security is concerned, I don't think that's really anything that can be done about that.
Well, now, lightening things up a little bit, we do like to have questions from fans to pose to you folks. Uh-huh. And Mark from Shepherdsville, Kentucky, asks, well, first he says, my name is Mark as well. He has that in common with you. Sure. When I first heard the first track on The Power Within, Holding On, you built this Halford-like scream at the beginning, which is an excellent way of introducing yourself as the new lead singer of Dragonforce. How hard was it to hold that long without straining yourself and going out of control?
Actually, funnily enough, that particular bit was something that wasn't written for the album. That was a bit of improvisation, actually. Wow. So I came in, Sam sent me the intro, the guitar stuff, and I just thought, I can scream over this, let me just try something. So I sent him an audio file back, and he was like, that was pretty good, can you just come in and do it? And yeah, it took a couple of takes, but that pretty much happened straight away. And it was cool, because it was a completely organic thing, that it wasn't planned or anything, and it just kind of made it. And I thought, I can't let the new fans just hear me singing normal stuff. I have to do something extreme at the beginning, the first track. So that's pretty much why I did it. But it's a tough note, I have to admit. That last note is very hard, so it's kind of takes a lot of kind of preparation and stamina building up with time to actually be able to do that. But yeah,
made an influence on your fans, certainly.
That's cool. Yeah. I'm really glad, and also just to be referred to in the same sentence as Halford is really cool. So that's cool.
Well, starting to wrap up with you, after finishing this current North American tour with Kamelot, what plans does the band have for the remainder of the year and on into 2016?
Well, for the remainder of the year, we're doing this tour, obviously, and then we come back December 15th or something for Christmas, and then next year we have a couple of festivals lined up which have been announced already, European ones. Yeah, you can find them online. We are doing 70,000 Tons of Metal in Miami. I think that's February, is it? January, February. Apart from that, eventually we're going to start working on our next album. But again, we can't really say a whole lot just yet because we're just so in the middle of this tour. So we're just going to finish this and see what happens next. But we've got a lot of things planned for 2016. Yeah.
So just no promises, but whetting the fans' appetite as far as what's coming up.
Pretty much, yeah. My hands are a bit tied as to what I can say because I don't know what we've announced and what we haven't. So I just there's a lot of stuff coming your way. So yeah.
Excellent. Well, finally today, Mark, how can fans best access music and merchandise to purchase from Dragonforce?
How can they best access it?
Websites or what?
Yeah.
For purchasing.
I don't know. It depends on personal preference, whether you want an actual physical copy of albums or vinyls and stuff, or if you want to go down the iTunes route. But I would always push on the physical copies because I go to shops. I like to buy them, and have the thing in my hands and read the book and all that kind of stuff. That's my thing. But so I would recommend, Amazon, those kind of websites. In fact, I don't know if you do that over here. You must have Amazon. Yeah, that kind of stuff. But don't use Spotify. Don't do that. We want to get paid for it. So.
And certainly they can come out to this tour, see you all live, and purchase a copy live at the venue.
That's the best way to do it. Yeah. So if you're in the area, come and see us, and then go buy an album. Yeah.
Well, Mark, I so appreciate talking with you. I've heard so much good things about this band. Tonight will be my first time to see you live, and I am so looking forward to it.
Cool, awesome. Well, I'm glad you came, man. That's really good. Cool. Thank you.